Are you a captive insurance agent and you're wondering what my captive agency is keeping back from me? Or maybe you joined an insurance group that maybe is independent but is starting to smell like it's more MLM than making you a top producing insurance agent? Well, you found the right video, my friends. I'm going to give you the vertical and everything that you're going to need to see, but more importantly, what they're keeping back from you, and we're going to dive right into it. They're not going to want you to have this knowledge because knowledge is power. And let me tell you, when you don't know, when you stay in that vacuum, that's the very thing that a lot of these type of organizations want you to be in, because that's how they make their bucks. And there's nothing wrong with them making their bucks, first off. And if you're a captive insurance agent, first off, thank you, and you're doing the good work. Sometimes it's the best starter company you've ever been with, and sometimes it's the best position for you to stay, but we're going to dive into it together in this video. So my name's Jason, before we go into this with you, and I'm your friend in the business, and I'm so blessed to recruit and partner with some of the most amazing agents as well as agencies that align here in our insurance group, selling shoulder to shoulder, selling life, Medicare, and annuities, face-to-face, but more importantly, in the telespace as well, and free resources for your taking at jasonfinalexpense.com. And I appreciate you joining with me in this content. So first off, tip number one of the biggest telltale warning signs of an organization that is keeping you in the dark is diminished compensation. So tip number one for you, if you're in a captive insurance agent or you're thinking you're in an MLM agency, it all comes down to the money, diminished comp. Are you being paid 100% compensation like you should when you start, and then you're going from there if you're a top producer? Or are you in an organization that's all about you recruiting your buddies or jumping into the management team or getting some extra licenses if you want to last in that organizational structure? You got to smell through the noise here. This is about you becoming a top producer, not maybe your organization taking a lot of the commission dollars that could be in your bank account. You got to keep the first things. And some insurance agents, maybe you're one of them that is only getting paid 50, 60, 70% compensation to sell a final expense or a simplified issue whole life product. Understand, you could get paid a whole lot more if you became an independent insurance agent, but there is risk here. You got to understand, becoming an insurance agent is an element of risk. There's no glass ceiling. You can earn what you're worth, but some days you're going to be overpaid, some days you're going to be underpaid, no matter where you sell insurance from. If you're a captive insurance agent, your problems aren't going to go away when you become an independent insurance agent. So if you don't look at yourself like a top performer, you don't believe in yourself, you're just not getting anything done in an MLM structure that you're in right now, or you're not producing much insurance or anything at all, your life's not going to somehow magically be different. You've got to understand that this is a performance-based business. If you sell insurance, you can hopefully find success and you're going to get paid. If you're not selling insurance now, your dial's not going to move and the dollars won't really change. 100% commission of zero sales is still zero here. So you got to have the truth spoken sometimes to you. If you're one that is making maybe some excuses about why you're not selling a single policy, excuses are something that you don't want to carry with you when you decide to become maybe an independent agent. So you can make 100% commission. Always diminished comp is a big telltale warning sign, and they're going to want you to be in a place where they say, hey, the grass isn't greener, don't go this way, don't go that way, you won't make it, you're going to have to maybe pay for your own secretary, and you're going to have to pay for your own copier machine and all these materials. And man, sometimes the lies that are told, and boy, goodness, I've been told so many of these lies from agents across this nation where they were told there's no better career than being captive here, and if you leave us, you're not going to make as much money, and you're going to have to pay for all your own brochures and buyer's guides and a lot of things that really weren't the truth. But I understand if they knew that there was 100% commission out there and maybe you're only getting paid 50%, there's these layers of the onion. They don't want you to know this because then they'd lose you as an agent, and there went their revenue. And I don't fault them for that, but you need transparency and you need truth. So when you take the plunge in independent insurance sales, you need to be of a 1099 mind and grind. You can't be an agent that needs to be told what to do. This is why I say some of you insurance agents really should stay in a captive environment or an MLM environment, if you're like, I don't have any money for leads, I don't do anything unless I'm prodded and really micromanaged. Some captive environments really do treat you like a W-2. They almost require you, which isn't legal first off, to show up to all these meetings maybe 2-3 times a week. Maybe they require you to show up to meetings daily, or they don't give you more leads. Leads are leverage on you, and that's not even something that's compliant as they move forward with you. So a big warning sign too is if you're in an agency that is like one that pulls leads back from you if you don't show up to the meetings or makes your managers feel great, that's something where you got to think about it. There's nothing wrong against meetings, nothing against them. They're great. We have meetings in our agency, okay, twice a week at a minimum, but they're never required. You've got to understand, if you're not W-2, no insurance company can require you to show up to a meeting if you're not W-2. They can suggest, give you best practice, let you know, hey, we've got meetings on Monday and Wednesday or Monday and Thursday. This is where you're going to learn and become hopefully a better producer. I'd highly recommend that you show up. Fantastic. But if you're seeing agents getting treated differently when they don't show up to those meetings, therein lies the problem. A 1099 insurance agent is an independent producer. You can't get told what to do unless you're W-2, unless it's compliance-based meetings. So there's another warning sign for you. If you're in an organization where you don't show up to a meeting and all of a sudden they pull your leads from you or treat you different, just know that it's not a legal way of being handled when you're having your career and you're navigating forward. So compensation is a big telltale sign. You should never have to recruit to move your commission dollars up. You shouldn't have to move into management to make more money. The insurance industry should be about making you a top producer and taking you to that very next level. So commission dollars, huge warning sign. Number 2 that I want to kind of dive in with you is your choices. Captive insurance agents and even MLM structured agencies, they've got some good products. You're not doing wrong by the client to sell a captive product. There's some captive agencies that sell products that we can't sell as an independent group. We just can't. That's not a bad thing. But sometimes we've got some better handshakes. For example, let's say you've got somebody that's got some really bad health conditions, even to the point of congestive heart failure. Captive insurance agents, or maybe your agency, can't give that person the chance for day one coverage. We have that ability. That gives us the ability to be the best handshake for that consumer, allowing us to capitalize as a result of making the consumer's lives better. It's not about you not doing the good job if maybe you have to sell them a graded product, but could you make that consumer's lives better by giving them better options? Well, that's for you to decide. Quite possible that you can do better by the client. Maybe you're selling annuities. In the captive world, maybe you have no bonus to offer on a fixed annuity product. Maybe you're giving the client 3% or 5% or maybe a 6% bonus. Did you know that in most states across this nation, there may be a 16% bonus available with 150% participation or even more available for the consumer with highly liquid features that are pro-client? And the commission dollars are sometimes double what a captive or a MLM structured, even independent agency is paying you. So for annuities, if you're being paid 2 or 3% commission or right around there, you could, or my goodness, you could make 5 or 6%, almost 100% more commission, and sell a product that may be more palatable for your consumer. It's all about choices, right? But there is insane risk with you becoming an insurance agent. There's no promise of you making it. There's no glass ceiling, whether you're captive or independent. You got to always look yourself in the mirror and go, you know what? I'm the one that's responsible for making my living reality. So you will have to take a risk as an independent agent and have someone like myself that can guide you and mentor you. Mentorship's powerful. You want to have folks that have made it in this industry. I'm a $1 million roundtable producer personally, and I've done it for years. This is so valuable for you to know. You want people that are at the top of the food chain so that they can take you to where they've truly been and where they're going. A lot of agencies will want agents to move into the management team when they haven't truly found long-standing success, and that can sour a lot of agents in this industry for sure, especially when you're getting such low compensation. But as an independent insurance agent, you're going to pay for your leads. You want to get paid 100% kind of compensation, or if you're a crazy top producer getting paid more, you've got to understand you're going to have to pay for leads. Well, this industry comes at a price. You want to get paid more, you've got to risk a little bit more. So a lot of captive agencies or MLMs will give you maybe leads that are nothing more than data. Nothing wrong with that if that's where you need to start. Once again, that may be where you need to stay. If you don't have much money for leads, you've got like $400 or less in your bank account, I would not advise you to become an independent insurance agent right now. It's not about having 100% compensation and having no ability to purchase leads. That's going to beat you up. So for you, you should probably stay captive or in your comfortable place right now and work really, really hard so that then you can head out that door and own and control your block of business. Now, some things they're not going to want to tell you as well is number 3, your vesting schedule. A lot of times these MLMs own your business. There's a vesting schedule that may be 3 years, 5 years, 15 years. They own your business. Maybe they've got what they call a non-solicitation clause, meaning that you work thinking that you're building your own business. You were maybe sold that dream, but it's their dollars and their dream. It's not yours if you leave. You got to look at your vesting schedule. That's kind of like a gotcha clause, right? It's like the hook goes in easy when you come in, and it's like a barbed hook when you leave. So you want to know that. In our work family here, everybody owns and controls their block of business. It's theirs. That's important. If you're going to build a business, you want it truly to be your business. And when you look at the fine print, that good old vesting schedule, that can be a problem for you if maybe you're in a position that you don't own and control what you're working for. You want to make sure that you have everything and that you're not giving your agency everything. So vesting schedules, also a telltale sign where maybe they're going to give you some perks. Maybe your captive or MLM, independent insurance agency with diminished comp, is giving you lots of parties, right? Well, that's paid for through your diminished compensation. Maybe they're giving you, nice conventions. Maybe they're giving you dinners out. That's great. Nothing wrong with that. You can experience that in the independent world with top compensation, but it just looks a little different. There's nothing wrong with rah-rah. There's nothing wrong with having good people around you. Money follows good relationships and commitment. And in this industry, it's great, but sometimes agents need that micromanagement. Sometimes you want to be in a position where you own and control your block of business. Well, can you be a self-starter? Can you be one that can really work without being told what to do? You don't need someone to breathe life into you every day to show up at the office or get your calling times in. You're going to call it quits, even in the independent world, if you don't have that internal drive to become a top performer. So some agents really should stay in the captive world or in an MLM world. If you need to be told what to do, when to take a smoke break, hey, Mary, can I take a vacation next week? If you're one that has to ask for everything and have your hand held every day to make $1 in insurance sales, maybe you need that micromanagement. The independent world, it's not going to offer you this micromanagement. If you're a top producer, you know how to take the risk. You know how to buy your leads. You know how to get paid like a boss when you make sales, and that's powerful. The powerful ways that we can serve our clients is extremely a blessed place to be in insurance sales. But there's nothing wrong with you being in your MLM world, but you should never have to move up the food chain by becoming a manager. And if that's what you're smelling right now, that's not the sincere way that you make wealth. We've got so many agents that used to be captive, some agents that were caught up in an MLM type environment where they kind of saw through the rah-rah. They realized that when they were being told the grass wasn't greener, well, they put in a phone call to us and realized, I like getting paid, and maybe all these layers of the onion are why I'm not making a lot of money right now with my commission grid, and I want to give this to you, but we want to know that it's going to take risk from you in this world. You're going to have to buy leads. You're going to have to train. You're going to learn a new skill set. But if you have a partner like us that can guide you and give you the tools to the kingdom, it's truly a turnkey business. But you have to turn the key, and you've got to put yourself in that driver's seat as a business owner. It doesn't happen from me sitting in this chair all day or from me looking at my phone. I've got to do the work to have a chance of survival. But when you go independent, it may be the right choice for you, and more importantly, the right choice for your clients. If we can give them a better product, it doesn't mean that our competitors are bad. It just means that we may be better for that consumer, and we'll let our client figure out who is the best handshake for them. And there's some situations where captive agents or maybe an MLM structured model may have a product that only they can sell. And they may be better as well for that one niche product. But I don't know of too many times where a single insurance company has won the business when they've come against an independent agent 99% of the time. But yet you do have an advantage with certain products, and I'd be glad to share that with you if you need that as well. So if you are looking at this, I want you to not look at this industry through rose-colored glasses. The reality is you've got to be a risk taker. The reality is you got to have some hustle. The reality is you need to be one that can be one that does what they need to do with discipline and habitual behavior, not one that needs to be constantly told what to do. If you're a W-2 mindset where you're so used to being told you need to show up here and you need to leave here and you need to do this, and if you don't show up, I'm going to, really blow your phone up, this world may not be for you, because if you're a W-2, you won't make the wealth with that mindset in this space. So anything we can do to serve you, jasonfinalexpense.com. Just want to kind of ramble with you and help you understand maybe some realities that you weren't told. Thank you for watching, and if we can do anything to serve you, let us know. But there's nothing wrong with working for organizations that are of this nature. You're doing the good work, but is that where you need to stay for the rest of your career? That's for you to decide as well. We'll see you soon, and if we can do anything to serve you, reach out, and remember, you've got what it takes.